everyone. We're coming at you from NASHIA. A couple of us are together to answer some commonly asked questions about the Seed Summit and to give you some information. And we're hoping to see everybody in March in Washington, D.C. So let's get started. So a lot of people ask us, who needs to come to the Seed Summit? Can you give us some insight there?
Such a great question. And really the answer is it's meant for those who are state decision makers, people that can include state agency leaders, that can include your advocacy organizations, whoever those key partners are that are making decisions in terms of the direction of support and services for people with brain injury within your state. So what we're really hoping is that if you're a state agency person, you're encouraging your advocacy organization to join. If you're an advocacy person, you're encouraging your state agency person to join so that you all can work together on developing a plan to support people with brain injury in your state.
You know, you could also bring any of your advisory council members, your staff, community providers, again, as Judy said, anybody that helps influence decisions in your state.
Great, thank you. So Maria, we get this question asked a lot. How is the Seed Summit different from the annual State of the State conference that NASHIA hosts or any other traditional conference?
Great question. The Seed Summit is very different in that, you know, usually at conferences, you have a plenary or concurrent session. It's a speaker, you hear information, you see information. Perhaps you have time for some Q&A at the end, and then you move on to the next session. The Seed Summit is really intended to be an interactive workshop that is focused on a limited number of areas that help you and your partners build that infrastructure in your state. And it's a push up your sleeves and dig into the content so that you can hear information and then network with each other, learn from each other, figure out what your strengths and your weaknesses are, and then how you're going to address those there and when you get back home.
So Judy, we have heard from individuals that they've been to a past Seed Summit and they were wondering if they should still attend this year's.
Absolutely. Definitely the Seed Summit is meant to be something that you're learning something different every year, even if some of the topic areas seem similar. It's all meant about what do you need to develop that infrastructure. So we're going to be continually working to build skills, help you work with your partners. You'll have new exposure to subject matter experts that are bringing in different perspectives. So even though you've been in the past, if you attend this time, it's all going to be fresh and new and something that you can apply to your state.
Great, thank you. Maria, what would you say to someone who has said, I haven't been in the past, am I going to benefit from a future Seed Summit?
Oh, absolutely. The point is you're coming in wherever you are with the elements we're going to discuss. So if you've never been before, there's no time like the present to dig into the topics we're going to cover. If it's something you've been to already, who is going to say we have everything that we need in our state and all the elements have been fully met? Nobody. I would have never said that. And I feel like most of you feel the same. There's always room for improvement.
So Maria, we need to know the important details. When and where is the Seed Summit?
I got them for you. It's going to be March the 5th and March the 7th. We'll be in DC again, and we'll be meeting at the Holiday Inn at the Capitol.
Right. So Judy, what are we going to do on March 6th?
That's a great question. There's going to be some great activities happening on March 6th. So we're excited to have you all there for all 3 days of this event. March 6th is Brain Injury Awareness Day on Capitol Hill. Many of you have attended that in the past. That is an opportunity for you to have your voice heard with your representatives at the Capitol. Also, this will be in partnership with the Brain Injury Association of America and the United States Brain Injury Alliance. Just know that you have to actually register separate for that event, and that registration link is also on our website on our SEED page. So you can go there directly and register for that event. The other thing I'll mention is, and this is for anybody, you can be a grantee state, a non-grantee state, an affiliate, whoever is interested. We'll be hosting a meeting with our Administration for Community Living Traumatic Brain Injury State Partnership Program staff, and they'll be there to chat with you about what's happening at the federal level in terms of brain injury. And so you can attend that meeting as well. Those details will be coming later, but that's another event that will be happening on March 6th.
Great, thank you. It sounds like there's going to be 3 action-packed days.
Yes, wear some good shoes for walking.
All
Your
right,
feet
awesome.
will hurt.
Thank you. Judy, we have had some individuals reach out to us with reservations as they are state government employees and not exactly sure about attending advocacy events such as Brain Injury Awareness Day on Capitol Hill or congressional visits. As a former state government employee and also with having experience with congressional visits at past Hill days, what advice can you give or what insight can you give to those with some of these reservations?
Yeah, that's such a good question. And I definitely get the concern because, you know, we have to be cautious when we're state employees in terms of advocacy work. However, I would just say in the past, when I've done this under my role as a state employee, I have taken the lens of I am there to educate the legislators. I'm working with my partners at those visits. I am providing facts about brain injury. I'm giving overviews of what we're doing in our state as it relates to brain injury. I am not advocating. I'm not making the ask. That's going to be done by another team member that will be on the visit with you. So you don't have to be concerned that it's advocacy. That said, I would suggest that you get approval from your state department. There's always approval processes. We all work in state government in that area, so we know that that can be kind of bureaucratic, but you start that sooner versus later so that you can get actual approval to attend those visits, and then you should be totally fine. Other things though, if you're still nervous or you can't get approval, I'm going to just say honestly, in the past, I have attended and used that as a day off, just taken a vacation day to attend those Hill visits because getting the approval was taking too long and it was really important to me to be there. So then I didn't have to worry about it because it was my state, or I was taking vacation from the state. So those are a few ways that you can think about how to approach those Hill visits. And if you have any questions about that whatsoever, you can contact Zeta at NASHA, and we'll make sure you have her email as well. She can help guide you through that process too. And then finally, I'll just say, if all else fails and you're just really feeling uncomfortable with being there, there's other events that are going on that day. You can network with your state teams. You can network with other states. There'll be the ACL meeting, as we mentioned before. There'll be other events that you can attend to ensure that your time is well spent.
Great, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, Maria, this one's for you. There's been several people asking, how do I register for the Seed Summit?
Easy. You follow the registration link on one of the event announcement emails that you'll be receiving, or you go to NASHIA.org. You see the information about the Seed Summit on our homepage. There will be details there. There are already details there and a link to the registration page.
Great, thank you. Maria, maybe you can answer this question as well. What is all included in the registration cost?
Quite a bit, Haley. Registration cost covers your attendance to the Seed Summit itself for both days. There are several meals that are covered out of that registration. We'll be providing continuing education credits for certified rehabilitation counselors, social workers, as well as a general attendance certificate. There will be a reception. You'll have access to the block rate that the hotel is offering to NASHA. And to me, the most valuable component of coming to the Seed Summit is the ability to network with your peers, learn from each other, have that face-to-face time that you can learn from and bring that information back home. And at the end, as with the other 2 summits, you will receive a summary of findings of the Seed Summit and some recommendations that you can utilize as well.
Great, thank you. That is quite a lot. All right, Judy, this one's for you. There are some questions about how does one best prepare for their experience at the Seed Summit? Do you have an answer for us?
Absolutely, I have an answer for it. There's a couple of things that we'll be asking of you. Actually, I know everybody kind of cringes. We're going to talk about doing some work before you arrive to Seed, but we do expect that that will help enhance your experience while you're at Seed, and it will help you when you return. So what we're going to ask you to do, and you'll be getting this information after you register, is that we're asking the states to prepare a state self-assessment tool to complete that tool. And ideally, you're doing this in partnership. So if you are a state agency and you know your alliance or association or advocacy organizations attending, or you have council members who are attending, gather together and respond to that state self-assessment tool together. That's how you're going to get the most out of Seed. And then when you come into Seed, we'll be able to kind of gauge where you're at, help connect you to other people who might be a little bit more advanced, who can mentor you, or who you might be able to mentor in terms of building that infrastructure in your state. So even though we all hate doing pre-work, it really is going to help make sure you get the most out of this event, and it'll really set you up for success when you head back.
Great, thank you. All right, Maria, let's see if you can answer this last one for us. So if someone still has questions after watching this video, who is the best staff person at NASHIA to contact for additional questions?
I can answer that. Most of the questions that you're going to have are going to be answered if you go to the Seed Summit information page on our homepage. If you still have questions, you know that you can reach out to any staff member. You certainly can reach out to me at my email address, which is mcrowley@nashia.org.
Okay, and that's mcrowley@nashia.org.
Correct. Can't wait to see all of you at the Seed Summit, and we would be remiss if we didn't mention our sponsor, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We are very appreciative for their partnership.
We appreciate you all watching today and listening to some more details about the Seed Summit. We hope you all can make it, and we're looking forward to a great summit and a great Brain Injury Awareness Day on Capitol Hill. And if you have any questions, just reach out. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
See you all there.
Yeah.